This is a podcast from the Business Times.
Good morning. It's Thursday, August 20th, 2026. From the Business Times news desk, here are your headlines. What you need to know. United States total debt crossed a historic $40 trillion threshold. Ukraine's lawmakers have approved Yevhenii Khmara as the country's new defense minister. And South Korea and the United States will cut short annual joint military drills to 5 days from 11. In world news, United States total debt crossed a historic $40 trillion threshold, with the Treasury Department warning of growing fiscal pressures from rising government spending and interest costs. Total outstanding debt stood at almost $40.05 trillion, and of that, about $32.3 trillion was held by the public, while almost $7.8 trillion held by government accounts. Across U.S. President Donald Trump's 2 terms in office, U.S. debt has increased by $11.6 trillion, compared with an $8.4 trillion rise during Joe Biden's 4-year presidency. Ukraine's lawmakers have approved Yevhenii Khmara as the country's new defense minister, adding to a turbulent week for President Volodymyr Zelensky. Khmara, a former top special forces operative, took charge of the key defense portfolio after his predecessor, Mikhailo Fedorov, called for wartime elections, a move that further challenged Zelensky's leadership. The 35-year-old reformer, Fedorov, was removed from his post by Zelensky last month. This drove weeks of protests by thousands of Ukrainian protesters that saw this as a poorly communicated government shakeup. The appointment of Khmara came shortly after Ukrainian anti-corruption authorities announced charges against a deputy chief of Zelensky's office in connection with an alleged $3 million money laundering scheme. In the region, South Korea and the United States will cut short annual joint military drills to 5 days from 11 and scale back some field training after President Trump ordered a substantial reduction in U.S. participation. This change comes as Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi continues his second-day visit in South Korea today, for regional security talks expected, covering developments on the Korean peninsula. On a related note, Kim Yo-jong, a senior North Korean official and sister of leader Kim Jong-un, has denied claims by Ukraine's Zelensky that Pyongyang intends to send up to 50,000 additional soldiers to Russia to support its war effort. In Singapore, the country is stepping up efforts to attract top talent and strengthen its position as an asset management hub. Yesterday, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, or MAS, announced a new investment management track under the Overseas Networks and Expertise, or ONE, PASS scheme. The new route is designed to attract global leaders and senior investment professionals who can contribute significantly to Singapore's asset management industry. Meanwhile, the price of a Category A COE rose to 128,501 Singapore dollars at yesterday's tender, coming close to the record 129,000 Singapore dollars set in July. The premium for smaller cars and electric vehicles jumped 3.7%, from 123,890 Singapore dollars at the previous tender. That marked the first time Category A premiums have risen after 2 consecutive declines. In companies and markets, gold prices rebounded overnight, recovering some ground after a nearly 2% drop in the previous session. The bullion rose as much as 0.6% to trade above $4,360 an ounce, as the sell-off in U.S. Treasuries eased. Treasury yields surged on Tuesday, with 30-year yields reaching their highest level in almost 2 decades. And the stocks we're watching include OCBC, Kimley, and SATS, after the airport service provider posted 75.1 million Singapore dollars in net profit for the first quarter, up 6% from 70.9 million Singapore dollars in the year-ago period. The increase was supported partially by lower interest expense. For updates throughout your day, visit bt.sg. And don't forget to check in with our daily wrap podcast, Market Focus Daily, at 6 this evening.
This is a podcast by the Business Times. Find more BT podcasts at businesstimes.com.sg/podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.